right, hey Cinephiles. So this week we're kind of doing like a memory Monday. We've got an oldie but a goodie. So this movie is Shattered. It was released in 1991, which you probably could tell from the trailer. It's a film about Dan Merrick who comes out from a shattering car accident. Get it? Shattering. With amnesia. He finds that he's married to Judith, who's trying to help him start his life again. But as they're doing that, he keeps getting these flashbacks about events and places he doesn't remember. And while looking for clues, he comes across a contact info for a Gus Klein, a pet shop owner who is also a part time private detective. He finds that he has done work for him in the past before the accident, so together they work to find out what secrets are being kept from Dan and what happened on that faithful night. So, again, as you could probably easily tell from the trailer, this is very much an old movie. And by the way, it has zero relation to the 2007 movie that came out with Pierce Brosnan. Completely different films, just absolutely ripped off title. To me, though, it holds up nicely, despite being old. First of all, it has to be one of the better suspense films I've seen in general, but especially also from the 90s. Um, and the 90s did pretty well with suspense films. That was kind of the era when those kinds of things and the twist endings and stuff, that was cool at that time. Um, and I was surprised because while I was looking for my scenes and everything for this and clips and photos and stuff, I actually noticed that a lot of websites and stuff seem to have given this bad reviews. Again, it really surprised me. I tried not to read the reviews because I didn't want it to affect my review at all. But yeah, I was really surprised because I thought the movie did everything right. It didn't really abuse anything. It didn't abuse any tropes or cliche, stupid stuff. Now, that being said, we do have to consider the time period that the movie came from. It might not seem like that long ago, but the 90s was pretty long ago, and this was like the beginning of the 90s. And, nowadays, something like this probably wouldn't seem quite as interesting. If anything else, you wouldn't get away with like some random amnesia trope as like the whole point of the movie. But at this time, the amnesia thing, while it probably nowadays, again, would get people groaning, at this time, it didn't seem as cliche, and it didn't seem like such an easy plot device. And especially with this movie, they did it well, which to me is worth more than anything. You can have any kind of cliche or trope. Again, horror movies, there's only so much you can do because a lot of stuff has already been taken. But if you do it well, then nobody's going to criticize you for it. And this movie does it very well. It was clever in the context, and throughout the film, it plays along perfectly in order to help the story bring everything to the table. It's a very well written suspense. It's got great timing. The composition of the film itself, both the writing, the characters, and the cinematography of it, sound effects, even the musical score. It's all perfectly put together. Um, so moving on. First off, we're going to look at our best scene. Now, this isn't actually a full scene, and it's less of the scene itself I'm showing you or the clip that I'm showing you, and more of the concept that is repeated throughout the movie that I'm going to show you. But I'll let you watch, and then I'm going to explain. I almost did it again. So, like I said, short clip. Now, a big thing is in this, I can't really play too many scenes from this movie. It's the one downfall of this movie, or at least of watching it nowadays. After maybe it's just because I've watched so many horror and suspense movies. Um, the ending is a very good ending, but it's also slightly predictable. So if I show you too many scenes from this, it's going to be easy for you guys to guess it even before the movie starts. But the reason I selected that little clip again was more so less of what's in the clip itself and more the concept it brought back. The flashback sequences and the way they did it is what I wanted to focus on with this. The shattering out glass that they do and the slight change in the music. They time the music very perfectly for this. Uh, I love the way they do the flashbacks in general in this movie. Because you've got him again, he has amnesia. So when he's starting to remember little things, those flashbacks are very important, and it's a little Yes, it's a little like slap in the face considering, obviously the title of the movie being shattered and you have the shattering glass image. But at the same time, first off, you don't see that every flashback, but you see it enough that it becomes a trigger in your mind. That when you see that, you immediately know, oh, this is important. We're seeing something that we're learning something new along with the protagonist. Um, and not only that, but the shattering glass image, and then you also have the subtle way that the actor like pulls out these facial tics out of nowhere and these different mannerisms and things like that. And he does it very well. He plays it out well, and then you combine it with the music, the change in the lighting and everything, and the color compositions, and you also, have the shattering glass again to intro it. But all of it combines to create a very obvious notice of, hey, flashback coming. And it doesn't come off as annoying. It doesn't come off as too slap in the face. It doesn't come off as like being obnoxious, like, oh my God, another flashback. No, you're excited. You see this and you're like, ooh, what's he gonna see now? What's changed? What more are we unlocking? It's very much a great insight into like what exactly is going on in the protagonist's head. And I really enjoyed it. It added a lot to the film. So, next segment, we're going to look at best character. Now, okay, I have to admit, guys, okay, so I was really biased with this one uh, because there was an actor I really love. That's why I was really excited to do this movie. Um, Bob Hoskins is playing our pet shop owner slash private detective Gus Klein, and it's phenomenal. He's automatically I admit I knew he was gonna be my favorite character to begin with because I love Bob Hoskins. He's awesome, and I have to outright mention like this movie reminded me so much of how much I miss this actor. By the way, like his loss was one of those ones that cut me like really deep because he was so great in all of his movies, and I just adored watching him. So I might cry, but we're gonna watch this scene, and you guys can see exactly what I saw.
Couple of words. You guarantee me that once this bird got to know me, it would talk. I've had it for 6 months and it hasn't even opened its beak. I said the Clementine could talk. I didn't say that she would. Okay, I'm sorry. No problem. Sorry about your inconvenience. Yeah, you see? What can I do for you?
Well, according to this invoice, I bought enough animals to fill a zoo. $7,000. That's ridiculous.
Merrick? Oh, Mr. Merrick. I didn't recognize you there for a while.
I had this bad car accident.
Oh, yeah, so I heard. Sadie? Yeah. Close out the shop. Okay. Oh, and take another look around for Betty June. Yeah? Okay, come this way.
By the way, for the record, the pet he was looking for is later found in a bookshelf. I am going to give you that spoiler because it's adorable. It's a snake. It's so cute. But no, so I apologize too. The sound is a bit off in that clip, but again, you still get the idea of the scene, even if his voice sounds weird. And it's like a silly introduction to him, especially because like the whole concept of like part-time private detective, but he's a full-time like mainly a pet shop owner. To me, it made it seem like this whole character was a much sillier version of his character in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Like this was the beginning of the private detective career to me, or the retirement phase. I don't know. I'm pretty sure, if I remember right, Who Framed Roger Rabbit came out afterwards, but either way, it reminded me of it. It was awesome. But what makes this scene even better is just the interaction with that old lady complaining about the bird not talking, and then his reaction after the bird spoke. Like that immediate thing, I was like, yes, there's Bob Hoskins. That is my guy. Like that, ha! That laugh is just, it's perfect. I'm sorry, I fangirl. I love that actor. But this character, like, what's nice is this is the introduction you get to him, but he's not like ridiculous like this throughout the movie. He's definitely the comic relief, and that's part of the reason I select him as a favorite character. But he's not always like this. Amidst all of the like angst and suspense and thrills of the movie, you have this like super flexible character that is actually a key element in progressing the story. And at the same time, he's our comic relief. So he has like all this like huge level of importance. He seems like, you know, this kind of character usually shouldn't be as major as he is because he is still a side character. He's a secondary character, but he's very important. He is hugely important to this. He he is the one who helps push everything along. He progresses everything with our main character Dan. And he's at the same time like you get these serious moments with him, but then you also just find him like this super lovable character because he has these little quips and these little moments. And he's also an interesting character because obviously, secondary, we don't get to know much about him, save for like little moments when he shares like stories of himself, which only happens like once. But you still get drawn into him. He draws your attention and you love him for it. It's just an amazing character. And he's it's one of the greatest things about Bob Hoskins. He's very visual, as you can see in this scene. Even like just that facial expression, he is so perfect at showing the emotions for the scene, the perfect emotions for the scene. And at the same time, he's really good at showing these subtle emotions too. You get these moments where he's talking things through and you can see his brain working just by the way that his face is changing. And it's just amazing. So I mean, like I love Bob Hoskins so much. Okay. I promise it did not Bob Hoskins alone was not the reason for my review. But okay, so ultimately, is the film 2017 level amazing? Maybe not, but then again, in 2017, we've got nothing but reboots, sequels, and the Emoji Movie. So that's probably a good thing it's not 2017 level. Now, suspense is not a very unique genre anymore, in my opinion. I feel like it's past its time. You don't get a lot of those movies, and when you do, it's the same thing you've seen dozens of times. Um, this movie was still back when that genre was a good genre to see. That was the kind of thing you wanted to watch. And you can still do that with it now. You might, nowadays be able to guess the ending halfway through, but it doesn't make you want to stop watching. It doesn't even make you want to fast forward to see if you're right. You in your head guess what you think the ending is, and then you still want to genuinely sit there and sit through the whole movie and wait to see how it's played out. Even if you know you're right, it's not even that you want to see if you're right, you know you're right. You still want to see how it plays out. And to me, that's an important thing with suspense. I have a lot of suspense movies that I'm like, oh no, like 20 minutes in, I'm like, oh no, this is what's gonna happen, and that is what happens, and I get pissed off because then like 20 minutes after that, I'm like, oh god, this is gonna play out like exactly like I think it's going to, and it's gonna suck. You didn't get this with this movie. You can make a guess about what the movie's gonna be, but then you're still gonna want to watch it and see how it happens. Now, I found this on Amazon Prime to watch. If you have a Star subscription, you can also do that because I did the Amazon Prime with Stars. Um, it's not on Netflix. You didn't hear it from me. But there may or may not exist a couple bootleg copies on YouTube that you could search for. But I definitely recommend seeing the movie. I give it 4 stars. I thought it was great. I loved it. I love Bob Hoskins. I love everybody. Everybody is just amazing. Um, Also, gotta say, point out the wife character. I'm not familiar at all with that actress, but my God, she did an amazing job. So, all right. I know we were really late with this one's post, so I don't know how soon you guys are going to see this before my actual stream, but I apologize. Please be sure to come back around 7 p.m. tonight, actually. I'm going to be doing a collab stream tonight, so that's why I'm starting early. Doing a collab stream with my buddy Husky King. Going to be playing some Dead by Daylight. It's going to be a killer time. Okay, I'm gonna stop trying to make jokes. Uh, also on the docket, I am officially an affiliate. So we have Twitch affiliate status. I have subscriber button now. So come check out the stream. Get that subscriber button primed and ready because my emote is coming soon. You guys are gonna get a sweet new hype emote if you subscribe to my channel. So make sure you come check me out. I'll let you guys know when that launches. Have a good night. Hope to see you guys later. Uh, there was something else I was going to say. Now I feel terrible because I forgot. But all right. You guys come back, see me at, oh, sorry, it's 7 p.m. Central Time. That was what I wanted to make sure of. 7 p.m. Central Time. Make sure you guys come check me out. Have a good night.